All right, so here we are, another patient. Wonderful gentleman arrived from Arizona. As we're seeing patients from all over the world, he has very advanced keratoconus, had intact surgery, as you can see here, 2 ring segments, partial, in both eyes, done in Mexico, right? Mexico?
That's right, yeah.
Yes. Okay, quick, brief history, Paul.
Well, since 1993, I was. They told me I had keratoconus. They told me I couldn't see. I mean, I was gonna go blind pretty much by the age of 16. I did my intacs in 2009, and I was able to see again, but I'm still having problems with my left eye, which is my worst eye, and I'm looking for help now.
So the patient has had intact surgery done, and intacts do work, remember, but how to do it is very important, which I keep teaching, right? There's a way to do it, the T intact technique I teach, titratable intact. The receiving patients now who have had these surgeries done in the wrong segment is like literally are working on the spine, which has a rod in it, which now makes it difficult to give them the full visual capacity. But again, I have fought, I have refracted. How many hours? How many hours have I spent already?
You said about 3 hours.
So important, and all of these patients have seen these videos which I shared with doctors impromptu, and now you're a part of it, right?
Yes, sure.
Having put the refraction in front of him, doc, let's see if he can read anything. Go. And on top of that, he's dilated. So I'm challenging him big time. Come on, can you see that?
E.
Go.
SBN ZCD KSROH CDZKB
Monica? Go.
RHOZ CSZ
Fantastic. Come on.
OZDBK RHKSD.
Doctors, imagine advanced keratoconus with scarring, with intacts and fully dilated. And we have believed and refracted him over all my technologies we do. And he's actually reading that. Come on, pushing you, don't have to.
SBHCZ.
Has he ever done that before?
Not sure.
Go.
I can see
Don't have to.
Z, D, and H.
Wow, very good. Wonderful. So, doctor, this is my whole point about please fight for your patients. Even if they've had previous surgery, they're difficult. Here I am as they're landing from all over the world, spending hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, refracting them myself, looking for what I call the gold, right? The vision potential. So we can start. Anything you want to say all to doctors who are watching?
Just keep fighting, keep working for your patients. We need help. That's it.
Sure. Wonderful. So we just finished refracting this wonderful gentleman. He's coming with a full thickness corneal scar from herpes. Herpes corneal scar over 9 diopters of irregular astigmatism, you can see here. Complete full thickness cornea, you can see here on this AXL wave here. But as you know me, I disregard all of that and I start refracting. So I finished refracting him now. We'll see what he can read coming over here with basically count finger vision, right? Can you read anything there?
Yes, E.
Go.
FBN.
Look at that.
ZPD. HRL. TDC.
That's amazing.
BLNEK.
Could he ever do that before?
No, he's not been able to do that. That's amazing. That's amazing. We've waited 13 years, so this is great.
Anything there?
DAOFF.
Let's make sure he's not cheating.
That's right.
Read that backwards. Read that backwards. So we know that's right.
RFDAD.
My God.
That's
Okay.
excellent.
Come on, pushing you. Don't have to.
ECDHN.
I'll give you. Pushing you. Don't have to. Come on, Joe. Make my day.
FZODY.
What do you say?
That's amazing.
And Joe, now my $1 billion test, okay? So doctors, can you believe it? Full thickness corneal scar, herpes corneal scar. We have refracted this patient, and yes, it's myself refracting them despite all the technologies we have here. Everything you can think about, and yet I'm personally refracting, looking for what I call the gold vision potential, right? Anything you want to say as the wife who's seen him with this poor vision for over 13 years?
Oh my goodness, we have been to all kinds of specialists, so this has just been amazing to think that we can actually fix this. This is great. This is great.
Anything you want to say, coming from North Carolina with what you have been through? This is always, I do this impromptu to share with my colleagues all over the world, and how the struggle is important, that I just don't accept that you're blind. I'm constantly looking for potential, what I call the gold, and then plan for it.
Yeah, I honestly, I just feel like I wasted so many years, to be honest with you. That's the hard part for me.
Oh, that's right. So he gave me up till there, that's excellent. Now $1 million test, I call this. Cover your left eye for me, please. Cover your left eye. Can you see that?
Oh, absolutely not.
Huh?
No, I can't see anything.
Give me 1 to 10. Come forward, take off your hand, 10 being the best. Take your hand off. Take your hand up, there you go. 1 to 10, how much better?
10.
So that's very important, Marita, don't cry.
Thank you.
That tells me the perceived potential. What is perceived potential? If he would have said just now 4 on 10, no point doing surgery.
Exactly.
Because he's a scar case, he's not 20/20. On top of that, he's a herpes scar, which are very, very difficult and dangerous because they can recur. And the fact that surgery doesn't make sense, right? Doing surgery or spending money. But when he's giving me 10 on 10, it's worth the fight.
Exactly.
Doctors, you understand that, right? That's now called, nowadays in your language, called the Gulani gold, but this is my gold, looking for vision, despite the level of complexity. So there is no such thing as impossible. You got to keep fighting for them. So over 9 diopters of astigmatism, full thickness corneal scar, herpes corneal scar in this young man who's been kept blind for 13 years. And coming from excellent doctors in the country, he's traveled here today with all the patients landing, as you can see. Next patient's London, before that California. All of these patients, you got to fight and then perform. First measure it, look for potential, then perform. Right? Anything you want to say?
No, we're happy. We're just fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
So here we are with our next patient. She's traveled from London, very advanced keratoconus, and she's been cross-linked there in both her eyes with no vision now, and also lazy eye in the left eye. Again, quick, your brief history. All of you have seen these videos that I impromptu share with surgeons and eye doctors, and here you are today. Quick brief history, please, like less than a minute.
So yeah, as you say, travelled from London, severe keratoconus in both eyes, left eye lazy since I was a child. So yeah, here for any help that I can get to fix mine.
So doctors, we've spent hours refracting her. Like you can tell, all the technologies that we have from all over the world we have here, but I'm going a lot by what I'm going to be refracting, which I have. So over 14 diopters of irregular astigmatism, but I neglect that and I look for potential, which I have refracted her, and I'm going to test it and see what she perceives, because since she's not a 20/20 patient, is it worth doing surgery? Is it worth spending money? Is it worth going through the process? So all this I'm going to check with the patient's perception, which is the highest level of accountability and integrity you can have, all right? So can you see that line? That's horrible. And now I'm going to put in front of her what I actually refracted her with. And this is her lazy eye. Any difference?
Yeah, much better.
Give me a scale 1 to 10. How much better?
6 or 7.
Lovely. So doctor, this is basically a very poor line, 2100. She cannot see beyond this. Barely she can see this line. Anything there?
CDs, it's difficult.
So not only is the keratoconus very advanced, it's a lazy eye. Cannot ever see beyond the 2100. But the fact that at 2100, she's perceiving, how much did you give me? 5, 6?
Yeah, 6, 7.
6, 7 on 10, it's worth proceeding. And then when I do the other eye, which is also advanced keratoconus, but it has potential, it's not lazy, then I can see how much perception again. So can you see that now? How much?
8, 9.
8, 9. So the potential eye, even though it's very advanced keratoconus, 8, 9 on 10 perception. Left eye, which is amblyopic, lazy, with advanced keratoconus and failed cross-linking in London, is giving me 5 to 6 on 10. So we're going to proceed based on that, give her the best we can on the left eye, and then when we do the second eye, which I will make her travel back because I don't do both eyes of such kinds together, that's when we want to see if we can free up this young girl for the rest of her life. Again, they fully understand the guarded prognosis, the limitations, and all that, but is it worth doing something for them? That's the fight. Anything you want to say, Gabby, in your history? Anything that you've seen? Anything you want to advise for colleagues? Anything at all?
Come and see Dr. Gulani.
Thank you. My pleasure. So let's get into the fight here. So, doctors, we've just finished again manually refracting this wonderful patient who's arrived from London. Very advanced keratoconus. 9 and 11 diopters of regular astigmatism, and one of the eyes also lazy, and she's also had cross-linking in London, right?
Yes.
And has no vision at this point, and uncorrectable even with glasses, but we have refracted her. And before I proceed to surgery, as always, I need to know, is that worth doing surgery? Is there potential, because she's not 20/20? So yeah, we just understood, we did the test in the TRS room, right? Now we're doing it on the manual system here.
Yep.
And doctors, this overrides all the technology in my institute with everything, because this is me, her, and her brain to see perceptive improvement. And we are at a simple logic here. We're going to a simple line. Here we go. So can you please look at that line, please? Ready? Give me a number 1 to 10.
8.
How much?
8.
Lovely. Why is that?
Much clearer, much more doable.
So doctors, she's dilated, completely cycloplegic, so she's not able to use her muscles to see better, and she's given us 8 on 10, which is worth proceeding with surgery. All right? Anything you want to say from all the testings you've had today with me and how many hours we spent?
A lot of hours, but well worth it. It gives huge confidence to me as a patient.
My pleasure. Is there anything you want to say, having accompanied her from London? Anything you want to say?
Yes, it absolutely was a pleasure being here with Dr. Gulani. He definitely knows what he's doing, guys. So, very recommended to come and fix your eyes. Thank you.
My pleasure. We still have to perform surgery. Wonderful. Yeah. Now you can go to the hotel, get some rest.
Indeed.
Perfect.